Hi everyone. So I am just doing my response to Alexa's video that she posted about cultural and diversity in the healing and recovery process. Um, to address her two questions, the very first one is, how do your cultural experiences affect and play into how you interact with patients? Well, me personally, I both of my parents are from the South. I grew up here in Ohio in the Midwest, but both of my parents are from the South, and all of my family still lives in the South. We're a very big, open family, and so we always talk about things and are very personal. And I don't want to say like to go deep, but we try to get to know people really well and really in depth. And so I feel that's kind of how I am with my patients and their families. I really try to find out about them. I end up talking with them quite a bit, just because I feel like my care as a nurse and eventually as a nurse practitioner will be very personal. And I'm with and working in the pediatric intensive care unit. I feel like I'm with them in some of the worst times of a parent or a child's life. So being able to be close with them and learn about them is something that really is important to me. And I feel like that's a big part of the way I practice. Some other people might not feel that way, but culturally, just based on how I was raised and how my family is, I feel like that's how I practice. So the second question was, have I seen any of the four pillars that she talked about? The dreams, the rituals, the spirituality, and the power of words. Have I ever seen any of those as a nurse? And I feel like I've seen all of those as a nurse. The one I see mostly is spirituality, in the forms of religion, I guess. But I definitely see that not only in the Christian faith, but I see it in the Jewish faith as well as the Muslim faith. Um, so we take in the PICU, we end up taking care of a lot of people from the Middle East, and so their practices are very different than ours, and culturally there are things that they will do whereas other people from other faiths or backgrounds may not. One thing that I've noticed that has been really interesting in my time in the PICU at Children's is that people from the Middle East culturally usually will never withdraw from care on a child, or I've heard that even on an adult they tend to not withdraw care because they feel that Allah will show it. Whatever happens is Allah's decision, and that the more that someone suffers in this life, the better life that they will have in the next. So I thought that was really interesting. I've also been around people from, and this isn't so much of a religion, but this is more of a cultural thing. But people from very rural, small communities in Eastern Kentucky, that there is a huge family component to their way of healing. And unless everybody in their family is at the hospital, no matter how far away that is, the patient isn't not believe that they could heal properly, and that they need even their second cousin and their great aunt and all of that. So I feel like I've seen a lot of the different instances of that spirituality piece. I've definitely heard some people say, I see in my dreams my child will walk again, or they will get better, or things of that nature. Rituals, of course. I've seen through prayer, I think is probably the most common one I've seen. And then the power of words. I have a lot of parents who say, there will not be any negative speaking in the room to the patient, even though the patient may be intubated and sedated and paralyzed and all of that. There's kind of that power of positivity. So I think that's probably the way I've seen that the most. So I feel like regardless of the culture, I feel like that's pretty consistent with a lot of people and how they recover and heal. So overall, it was a great TED Talk. So thanks for posting it.